Hi, Judy. Hey, everybody.
Judy, I've got 11 o'clock. Are you ready to rock and roll?
We're ready to go. You're
Okay.
on.
Thank you guys for joining us, for sticking with us for 5 whole weeks. This week is the one that I've been dying to do, the tried and true method. So, I could go on and on about, how I used to sell real estate in the 80s. It was all about scotch and handshakes, not all this contract stuff, So, but I could go on and on. We could never keep it to a half-hour class. So similar to last week where Judy let me take the reins of where she's most comfortable in technology, I'm going to let Judy take the reins for this one. For the tried and true method, AKA the old-fashioned way, AKA IPAs, not India Pale Ale, Scott, the income-producing activities. So we're going to go over handwritten notes, pop buys, print marketing, client appreciation, how to look like and sound like a realtor, community involvement, and then we're going to wrap it up into a nice little bow. This is our last one that we have planned. If you have any ideas, anything you'd want us to cover moving forward, we're more than happy to continue meeting with you guys in the coming weeks, but this is all we have on our books. So without further ado, Judy, do you want to jump into the handwritten notes?
Okay, so handwritten notes, still I think probably the most powerful way to get business. Maybe even now more so than it was with all technology. No one gets a handwritten note anymore. People actually get excited if there's a letter in their mailbox. For those of you who go to your mailbox, my sons say they don't get anything. So if I send them a birthday card and snail mail, it could sit there till their next birthday. But it's really, really effective and extremely powerful. So in all of your offices, you're going to have note cards that are provided by the company. They're plain white. You can get your own, but these are free. So I encourage you to use them. Craig is demonstrating. He's like my Vanna. We were doing on Wednesdays in the office before we were shut down, we were doing note writing, and we'd all meet and write notes together. And what I learned in my office was that my people prefer if I wrote the note and then they would copy the note, and Phoebe's nodding. Not that my people are lazy. No, oh no. But that's what they preferred. And for me, I thought, if this will get you to get more notes out, I'll do it. So when do we write notes? Okay, after every closing, write your client a note. The co-op agent, unless they were lousy, because we certainly don't want them. Title company, lender, and the other party in the transaction. Now that was Craig's idea, writing the other party in the transaction. I have captured many, if I'm representing the seller, I've captured many buyers. I think it might be a good idea just to say, hey, hope you enjoy your new house, enjoyed working with you and your agent.
Yeah, I think it's great the way to capture them as clients, because a lot of realtors, they just close the transaction, they close the relationship with that person. So that's a great way to do business with them, especially if they're located in your sphere. Build a relationship with them, start acting like they're a real estate agent, and then hopefully when they're ready to sell or buy another home, you'll be able to capture that business.
Mm-hmm. Also, we have, I'm going to skip this one for a minute, holiday cards, Thanksgiving cards, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's. We have all those cards. I would go to the Hallmark store and buy a lot of the cards. I'm not sure all your managers do that, but I think that if they would get you to write more notes, that they'd certainly be open to that. That's really important as well. We're going to send with the PowerPoint later. We're going to send sample Thanksgiving messages. This is really, really powerful. We had a lot of success doing that this year. At this time of Thanksgiving, it's important to remember to be grateful. And I am grateful for the business that you gave me this past year. Why are y'all smiling? Because you did it? Because I wrote that note? Why are you laughing, Judy Johnson and Phoebe and Sonia?
Because you wrote the note for us.
Pitiful. But you sent them. You sent them. I do make them address their own envelopes, though. I stop at the writing the note. We also do homestead letters. Those are things that you want to do after the first of the year. Don't forget that to all your clients that bought this year. You will be sending out the homestead letters, and yes, we write those as well, and they copy. Birthday cards. One of our top agents, Diana, who she started doing this when she first started in the business, and she has got a whole system of birthday cards, and she sends birthday cards out to all her clients. And now she sends them not only to her clients, but their kids. And the kids go wild when they get a birthday card because they actually get something in the mail and they're very excited about it. So think about that. And anniversary cards on the purchase of their house. I understand that birthdays and anniversaries can be put into impact. And I'm assuming, though, that an impact, Craig, it would be an email.
I think it would be, it's an email campaign, yes.
An email campaign or digital, like an email birthday or an email anniversary. One of the most, the best letters, I'm gonna send you a copy of that too, are our Gary Green Foundation letter. Diana started doing this, and some other agents do it now. At every closing on the CDA, you can donate to the Gary Green Foundation. About a month, maybe 3 or 4 weeks after the transaction closes, I send a letter. They do it. It's but I sign all her letters, and it says that your agent, Diana, who has made a contribution on your behalf to the Gary Green Foundation of X, okay? We appreciate you choosing Diana and Better Homes and Gardens to market and sell your home, blah, blah, blah. But there's a letter, and we're gonna attach it and send it with a PowerPoint, and it's a great touch. About 4 weeks after closing. So Diana does that on every single one of her transactions. Okay, and let me see, tax protest letters. You want to send something out that lets people know that you can protest their taxes for them or assist them in protesting their taxes. Wendy Roloff, who couldn't be here today because she's showing homes, she sends the tax protest letters out and also does like a quick little CMA in there so that they can see that if they're, priced too high, that if they're evaluated too high. And then the typical, and I'm getting ahead of myself, the typical farm material. So make sure that you are writing handwritten notes, and handwrite them, no labels. You can print them, but or for those of you of a certain age, you remember what cursive is, you should write them. And if your writing is really, really, really bad, well, that's too bad. I'm still not going to address your envelopes, but you can pay someone to do it. So you have anything to add to that, Mr. Craig?
I definitely do not. I think you covered it. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Martha, do you do handwritten notes? Unmute yourself. There you go.
I do, but I obviously need to do a better job of it. It's just making, getting a system and kind of sitting down and, just carving out some time in your day and do it. But I do think, your point of looking in the mail, and we're all getting bombarded with all sorts of stuff, but it is kind of lovely to get a personalized something that's not a solicitation or a political statement or something like that. So I think it is very impactful.
Yeah, it is. And some of the things I've said, like the Thanksgiving one, I thought was great because it was just saying, hey, I'm grateful for you. Thank you for letting me, represent you. So I did like a generic one, then one for a buyer and one for a seller. So rip off and deploy is our motto here. Rip off and deploy. Okay, now another thing that's tried and true and old fashioned, Craig, is pop buys.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. I wasn't very good at pop buys, but because I was always afraid they were home, I like to pop by and leave. So, but again, one of our top agents, she sorts all her clients by zip codes. And she has that in her car with her. So if she's out doing an inspection, let's say, she's out in the Heights doing an inspection, she'll pull out her little Excel spreadsheet and look at it and see who's around there that's her past client. And she'll pop by. If they're there, then she says, hey, I was just an inspection, wanted to see how you're doing, blah, blah. If they're not there, she leaves their business card and then texts them to let them know that she stopped by to see them. And it's just a touch, going, hey, I was in the area and just wanted to stop by and see how you were doing. No need to call me back, just, know that I was thinking of you. So those are really important. If you want to leave something, pop buys, of course, popcorn was the old tried and true to go pop by popcorn. In the spring, Diana would do wildflower seeds, those little seed packets that you've seen. Some title companies do that as well, and that's cute. And then you can just put a little ribbon in it. Scott, you can pick out any color you want of ribbon, and we'll help you thread the little ribbon through the seed pack.
I sure hope
Halloween candy, Valentine's Day candy, Starbucks card, something like that, and just said, stop by to see you. Sorry I missed you, and here's have a Starbucks card. So think about that. It's really important to keep a relationship going, and because we're so digital, everything's digital, face-to-face is nice. Now, granted, right now, if you pop by, they probably slam the door in your face. They don't want the COVID. And, this wouldn't probably be the best time to start it. Or you pop by with a mask and they think you're robbing the joint. So, just be respectful of that right now. But pop bys are a great way to get business and stay in touch with your sphere.
Yeah, I think those are very, very powerful because no one else is doing that, and just stopping by and checking in to see how they're doing. You can ignore a text, you can ignore a phone call, you can really ignore emails. So, but you can't, ignore someone standing on the porch just wanting to say hi, a friendly face. And even if you don't have an inspection, maybe you don't have anything going on, make it up. I had an appointment in the area, and I wanted to come in and say hi. How are you guys doing? And Judy said she was a little bit scared, but all it takes is 3 seconds of courage. Once you get out of your car, it's already done. Or if you're scared about cold calling, all you have to do is push dial and it's showtime. You'll turn it on. But if you're ever scared, it just takes a little 3 seconds of courage, and it's probably not going to kill you. You can write on your own sticky every time you did something scary. I didn't die.
I didn't die.
Write that on the sticky. I didn't die.
I didn't
Put
die.
it on the wall. I didn't die. I didn't die.
Yeah, and then you just keep going, There was a book a long time ago called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So, I like yours, 3 seconds of courage. All right, now let's talk about print marketing. Okay, Express Docs has moved to Impact now. Express Docs has in there a 12 to a 24 month campaign that can be a set it and forget it. So if y'all didn't know that, I'm here to tell you it's there in Impact. Okay. You can send it to your sphere or to a geofarm. So that's really great. When I was selling, I had 3 farms that were going at all time. I had a lower end, a middle range, and then a higher end. So something was always popping. But you just set it up and forget it. And I used to love that because I didn't have to worry about what I was going to choose every month. Some people worry about that way too much. The goal is to have them see your face while it's on the way to the garbage, to see your face before it gets tossed. And then when they have a need, they're going to remember, who's that girl? I throw her stuff away every month, and they'll remember you. Or who's that guy? Excuse me. Who's that person? Okay. So express stocks are great. I think you have to do all of the above. No, everything I'm saying, I think you have to do in order to get business. But if you have a geo farm, it's important. So take care of that. Also, we do market reports. Corporate will do market reports, which is letting them know what's going on in their particular neighborhood. So those are really powerful. I used to do them quarterly. Okay. So if you haven't started those yet, you know, I would say get that on your agenda for marketing in 2021. They're really important. People loved them. Newsletters. I know that the greenhouse had something, a digital newsletter for, Better Homes and Gardens greenhouse does. We used to use it through the personal marketing company, TPMCO, and they have a lot of different ideas and different choices for you to send. The trick is to send something every week so that your people see your face on the way to the garbage, and they'll read those things too. In addition to sending something every month via mail, I would send keeper pieces, football schedules, baseball schedules, basketball schedules, rodeo schedule. Used to do school calendars back in the day, and I don't know that they still put those out. We used Magnets USA to do that. The keeper pieces. I think we still have a contact. Her name is Brittany at Magnets USA, and she does the Gary Green account. So we used to get discounts for those, and I'm sure we still do. You can even have them send them, if you can upload your list, and they'll send them out for you. If you have a lot of people, back in the day, before you were born, Craig, we used to pay teenagers to stuff envelopes and put labels on and that sort of thing. So really important. So besides getting 12 pieces a year, My Sphere and Farm, they also got schedules, so 4 extra keeper pieces a year as well. Magazine subscriptions, don't forget about BHG, Better Homes and Gardens magazine. Now we have choices. They have, like, I think Diana told me 9 different magazines to choose from. They're $13 for a subscription. You can't beat that, y'all. And it has your label on there, so you can personalize the label. And if you're trying to do business and local businesses around where you live, get a magazine, one of those magazines, and put it in their waiting rooms or have them sent there. That's a great way to get business just in your neighborhood. There's another magazine called American Lifestyle. Before we were affiliated with Better Homes and Gardens, I did that. Now it's pretty expensive, but it's a pretty classy magazine. Everyone loved it. But when I switched everybody over to Better Homes and Gardens, I actually got more feedback from that than American Lifestyle. American Lifestyle was classy looking and slick looking. But the articles, I don't think, were really something that people look at everyday stuff. They were just interesting articles. Anyhow, so that's my print marketing. Do I still keep going? Yeah. Any questions on print marketing or any suggestions that I didn't cover? Scott, are you getting ready to talk?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You said it was available through Impact?
What?
Some of the print stuff?
Express Docs, yes. You go to
Marlene.
You
go to Marlene.
Yeah. That's who you go to. You go to Marlene, and Marlene will tell you how to get there. Yes, I did it. I went to My Business. I forget how I got there. Okay, you go to the dashboard. You go to My Business. Scroll down the middle box, Express Docs. And there you go.
Oh. Okay.
And I didn't see you write that down. So now you're going to go right back to her and ask her what I just told you.
Yes, you got that right.
Yeah. So go to the dashboard, My Business, and scroll down, okay? Because that's where you'll find it. So they're all there. The magazines are not there. So I don't know if the magazines you still get through BHG Greenhouse. I'm not sure, but they're really cheap. You know, everybody should be doing that.
Is that for 2 years, 1 year?
1 year.
1 year. Okay.
$13. You can afford it.
Okay.
That's one glass of wine, not happy hour.
That's 2 glasses of wine.
Oh, well, I didn't know you got a bargain wine. Okay. Now let's move to closing gifts. You know, I know an agent who says, hey, look, my closing gift is me. They got to use me. That's all the gift they need. I went, oh, well, okie dokie then. I did used to give closing gifts, even if I didn't like them. But magazine subscriptions can be a closing gift. You don't have to spend a lot of money. When you're newer in the business, if you're dealing with a first-time home buyer or somebody, I used to always give them like a Home Depot or a Lowe's. They love that because you know they're going to be there every weekend. Make sure that you subscribe to the CAP program. That is now, is it 4 years?
5 years.
5 years now, so they changed it.
For 5 years.
It is cheap. And if you guys don't do any other marketing but that, do that. Because you just give them the information and then it's automatically sent out for 5 years.
Okay, I have a question about that one.
Okay.
I've been doing it,
Uh-huh.
and they charge $25, just like you say, but it's one of those forms that's required in Back Agent. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
And they scan for that, and I guess pull it if there's a CAP form. Is that right?
The CAP form is in zip forms. It doesn't need to be signed, so you can just fill it out in zip forms with your client name and then basically upload it into Back Agent. It's a required form if you select on the dates and info, enroll client in CAP, in the Client Appreciation Program.
But you said it's in zip forms?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All
So you've
right.
been away too long. Martha, it's on your CDA, your commission disbursement. Well, actually, no, it's in Back Agent. When you load your documents, it asks if you want to be on the CAP program, Client Appreciation. And
Okay.
so you can just check that. And then they will require the form when you're doing your transaction. And the form is in zip forms, right, under our documents.
Yes.
Gary Green.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's $25, 5 years now.
Yeah, and you said it does not have to be signed.
No, it's just you fill out the client's information, their address, whether you want it to be a thank you or a welcome home. If you choose the welcome home, you need a high resolution photo, and then you put your information in, and that's it.
Okay.
Because the first one that goes out will either be welcome home or thank you, correct?
Mm-hmm. And for the buyer, one of the first things that they get sent out are the return label addresses or return address labels.
So it's cool. And it remembers their anniversary. It'll send that out. And it's great because it's done automatically. You can just not even think about it.
And how many touches is that?
It's 4 touches a year, I think.
It's 4 touches per year.
4 touches a year, yeah. Okay. Cutco has stuff. If you like Cutco, there's a Cutco guy. They have stuff they can engrave. You can do like black and white sketches. I think Sherry Malone's daughter, Martha, is that right, does sketches,
Yes.
of the house, of their new house. And also Craig has a contact that they do a watercolor of it, and we're putting that'll be sent out with the PowerPoint so you guys can take a look at that. Those are really cool. So, that's a little more personal, and I'm not sure how much that is, but in many cases it's worth it.
Yeah, I think the one I just ordered was like $100, including the frame. And, it was for sellers. It was their first home where their family was born. And, they were really upset to get rid of it. And the seller cried at closing when I gave it to him. So it's a really, really powerful gift. And it's better than just, a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne that they'll forget about. It's something that they'll display in their new home.
And I had one done. I had a larger one done of our home when we moved. I had it done, and it's really nice. I mean, it's your grown kids will like it too. They'll go, "Oh my God, that was my room," and whatever. Also, there's also wine and champagne, and I would make sure that they're not teetotalers before you give it to them. Lots of Liebman's used to do baskets for, and I used to do that. They got very expensive though, but I used to do those, and I wonder if they still do that. Do you know, Martha? Do they do it? Yeah, okay, she says they do. Liebman's is at I-10 in Gessner now, right on the north side. But they do, you give them a few days to do it, but they do really nice baskets. Yep. And they used to put the label on the wine. They would include a bottle of wine and put the label of the house on the, the address label. So it was really nice. And then let's talk a little bit about client appreciation. Wow, this is really important. And I would probably venture to guess that just a handful of agents in this company do this. Client appreciation. What do you do for your past clients? This past year, we've had several people that do pies from House of Pies, and they send out an email and say, what kind of pie do you want, to their past clients? And they give them, I think there's a choice of, 3 or 4 pies. And they check it, and then they order these pies. You need to start this like 30 days out. They put in the order, and then they have them come pick them up at their house, and have like a open house where they come through. Is it the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? I think the Gouderons did that, or maybe it was the Tuesday before. But anyway, close to Thanksgiving, you can do the same thing around Christmas time. It's a great way to show appreciation, and you might have some wine and some drinks set out, but typically they just come in and pick up their pie and leave. But it's a good way for you to get face to face, and it's an easy thing to do. Also, food trucks in communities are a good thing to do. People are seeing those now because you can actually social distance. If you have an area of your community where a food truck can park, and they allow that. Kona Ice, if you sponsor any type of event, which we're talking about community events as well, Kona Ice is a good one. People love that. We've done that many times. And something that is we have not used, but they use it all the time in the Woodlands, and it's coming to Katy, is Lolo gifts. These are actual gifts, like for area, like a submarine, a sub or 6-inch sub, or a free smoothie or something in the area. Lolo is up in the Woodlands, and I think they're coming to Katy, or they're there yet. Do you know, Craig?
They're coming to Katy, and it's not just a 10% off coupon. It's an actual real physical gift that they'll get something for free for signing up for Lolo. And I believe it's very cheap to be a part of.
And agents love it because their clients actually get something, and the clients love it. So Elisa, who's the manager up in the Woodlands Tech office, she loves it. They like it in Woodlands Research as well. But I don't think it would work for some of us because there's not a Lolo, there's not the vendors right around us.
Mm-hmm.
What is Lolo?
It's lolo.gifts, and if you go over to there, you can sign up and register your past clients to receive these. I think it's either monthly or quarterly gifts that they have, specials that are going on in the neighborhood.
Thing is, if they're not in their area, you might look, because Lolo's in the Woodlands and it's in Katy. So if the gifts are not in their area, they're not going to drive. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe your friends will drive, but my friends wouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know.
How are
People
y'all
drive
spelling
from
it? Is it LOLO or what?
LOLO.gifts, GIFTS.
Yeah, look it up and see, because it's a great thing, and everyone, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Is it .com?
Yes.
No, it's just .gifts.
.gifts, lowlog.gifts, yes. Okay. Okay, Craig, do you want to talk about how to look and sound like a realtor? Because I know that you look like a realtor. I mean, everyone says that.
I would love to. So I think,
Okay.
all the marketing in the world can only get us so far. We actually have to look the part and we have to sound the part. So the first thing is make sure you're always professionally dressed. You don't want to run into anyone in your PJs and say, oh, hey, this is my listing agent. He looks like a slob in Kroger. Come on, we can do better. So make sure we're always looking professionally. Include our name tags. Always have your name tag on you. Joe Ellen in the West Gray office says she gets at least two business transactions per year just from wearing her name tag all the time. And I've known Joe Ellen for years and years, and I've never seen her without her name tag. So make sure you have that. You look the part. And another part is the car signs. The company provides the car signs for you. And we actually had Mark Woodruff came into the office yesterday, told us a story about an agent in Katy was parked out in front of a house for an appointment showing, and then the neighbor came out and said, hey, I see you're with Gary Green. I'm getting ready to list my house. Can you come over and talk about it? Because in these trying times, we want to make sure that we have a great agent, and we would not list anyone with any other broker besides Gary Green. So he got that business just because of his car sign, or he got the opportunity for that business.
So it was funny because he told Mark, the agent told Mark, thank you for building such a good company that has such a good reputation. And Mark goes, no, man. He said, thank you for using your car sign. Because if he hadn't have, he wouldn't have gotten that client. It was just literally by putting that car sign on. So if you don't like to drive around with them, park in your driveway with your car sign on so everybody knows that you're a realtor.
Mm-hmm. Easy farming that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's look the part. The next part is sound the part. I always say the biggest thing that helped me turn around my business is I put everything in a can. All of the questions that I kept getting over and over and over, I had the same canned response for all of them. And so you're not flying by the seat of your pants. You're not making things up. You have big macro data for what's going on all around Houston, and you have micro data for what's going on in your market report. So if someone comes up to you at a dinner party and says, hey, Craig, how's the market doing? You can say, well, throughout everything that's been going on in the past few months, the real estate market has stayed strong. Right now, sellers are still a little bit concerned about being able to show their home safely. So as you can imagine, listings are about 10% down. But all the pent up demand from March and April has built up, and we had a record year for Gary Green for the month of May. And we actually are across town are seeing about 20% listings, 20% more listings go pending. And that's leading to more and more sales. And as you can imagine, people are stuck in their home. They're realizing everything that they don't like about their home. So they're all on HAR. And HAR traffic has exploded since COVID-19 became a thing. Traffic on HAR has gone up 80% from 2019. So having something like that in your back pocket so that you sound like an intelligent real estate agent so that you can capitalize on that business. And that's for the macro market. For the micro market, you can say, well, all of that is true. And you know what, the most surprising thing that we've learned through that is with oil prices being down, we expected to see a major hit in the luxury sphere. But for the last 2 weeks of May in area 23, which is the Memorial area, we've seen the luxury market double. So we've seen 91% increases in showings in the over $1 million market and double the amount of pending sales in that time frame. Yeah. So if you have data like that at your fingertips, you're going to sound like a very intelligent agent. And HAR sends out weekly reports, those snapshots. I believe Shally sends them out to everyone. If you just look at those, remember a couple of tips and tricks. I'm trying to put out a video on my Facebook every week to go over them so that you can see it there. But if you have those in your back pocket, you can really sound like a great agent. Other questions that we get is now a good time to sell my house? You can go over the supply and demand. Listings are down and pendings are up, and online traffic is at a record high. you can say that is 3 keys to success for getting your house on the market safely and getting top dollar. We can say that we haven't really seen a downtick in pending prices or anything like that. So those are all just great stats to have at your fingertips. And
Craig, probably some of our agents are saying, Craig, will you write that down and give to me so I can just rip that off and deploy? Is that what you're thinking, Judy Johnson? I don't see your sweet face anymore. Yeah, she's nodding. Mm-hmm. She loves it when I throw her under the bus. It's her favorite.
You know, I can do that, and I can even put that in a little infographic from canva.com so we can layer all of that so you can share it to your Facebook.
Oh, see? Oh, yeah. All right. Awesome. Now, this is what I like, this next one that Craig's going to go over, but I love community involvement. I think that's huge, and I think all of us should be involved, especially in the areas that we do business. But anything you're involved in with the community is a great win, because you can always post that to social media and people know that you give back, which is great. But I wanted to say really quickly, National Night Out is, that's in, I think, October. That's a great one for you to be involved with your neighborhood. And that's where the Gudurans do a Kona ice truck to their National Night Out. They sponsor that. And it's just for them to get in front of their farm area. You can certainly do something like that if your organization, if your HOA allows. I did an ice cream truck one time in my neighborhood. So make sure that's in October. You know, who knows what this year will bring. We don't know. We're playing by the seat of our pants in this environment, but just put that on the back burner, always thinking National Night Out. You need to start thinking about it around 1st of September to see what you're going to do. And Craig, you want to talk about sponsoring teams or groups?
Yeah, I think the best marketing that you can do is joining those causes and those teams and those groups that you're actually passionate about. So you're not doing it just to get business. You're not doing it inauthentically. You're doing, this is what I care about as a person, and this is, you know, who I am. And then business will come through because you're wearing your name tag. People will always ask about the real estate market. So if your kids are involved in any sports, try sponsoring the team or sponsoring, you know, the halftime oranges, anything like that. Any groups that they're a part of, try and find a way for you to become the sponsor of that group. Another thing that I love is charity work. One of the main reasons I joined Gary Green so many years ago was their involvement with the Triumph Over Kid Cancer Foundation. I met Mark and Ann at a charity fundraiser in New Orleans, and this was even before I got into real estate. So all of the work that they were doing, not to pick up business, but the causes that they cared about really, really show, and that shows you as a person more than just a sales agent. Any school organizations, PTA, church groups, anything like that, become involved in that. And, you know, business will come to you, not because you're out there asking and begging for it, because people see who you are as a human being and the good-natured person that you are, and they'll grow to love, care, and respect for you and get that trust so that when they're ready to make a real estate move, they will be using you. And I know Judy's been looking forward to this one since I told her about it yesterday, but activities. So what you're doing in your free time, use that as a way to get business. So what I've done, my pre-real estate life was in sports. I played baseball all my life. I was fortunate enough to play professional baseball for a few years. And after I was released and got into real estate, I was trying to figure out a way to get back into it. So I looked at my phone and I said, well, I have all these people that are probably going to do a real estate transaction, buy or sell, in the next 12, 16, 18, 24 months. What's a way that I can get in front of them without feeling uncomfortable about it? So 3 years ago, I started a slow pitch softball team with all the people that I thought were going to buy or sell houses in the coming years or in the near future. And we started this team, and it's been 3 years, and we get together once a week for at least an hour, and in between innings, after we go out for post-game drinks, always want to talk real estate because they're actually interested in it. And I can report that I've sold over $4 million worth of real estate to those 15 people. So it's a great way. It's what I'm passionate about. It doesn't feel like they're being marketed to, but I pay all the dues on my my business credit card. So it's a write-off, and it's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love to do, and it's around people that are really are in the same boat. And when they do have a real estate need, I know they'll contact me.
And I'm trying to think, maybe we could do shuffleboard or, what's that other one? Pickleball for older people. Maybe we could do, get a group together for that, or team. What do you think about that, Scott? Some physical activity. What do you think?
Yeah.
Or even if it's a book club, a wine club, a gardening club, anything like that that you really like to do, that you're passionate about, join a group, create a group, and see where it takes you. I can speak from experience. It's been great for my business.
That's awesome. So I was telling him yesterday that was awesome. So they just sit around and play softball and drink beer, and but you actually have to play games in the heat and practice. So that leaves me out. Sonia's really active in soccer. What are y'all doing, Sonia? Are y'all back playing?
Not yet, but I've taken over both teams as manager, so I'm hoping
Good girl.
that'll help boost some real estate sales. Now will be the point of contact for both teams. So, but we're not back until probably the end of summer.
Well, some of us physically are not going to be able to do that. And Sonia, you probably, since you've separated your shoulder twice, or you're like.
Yeah, a couple of different injuries. Black eyes. Broken.
Yeah, black eyes, that sort of thing. I prefer a more sedate activity. But it's something to think about. And I think that, anything that you can do that you're not selling, but you just enjoy doing it and have fun, that's great, because it's staying in front of them, and it's just awesome. So I applaud you guys for being active. Schools are great. One of the things that I used to do is when you get in that look like, walk like, talk like a realtor, even when my son was in high school and I'd go to all the games, well, sometimes there was a lag between work and the game, but I never changed clothes. I came, as far as they were concerned, I came straight from work. I always had on my name tag, and they go, why didn't you change clothes? Oh my gosh, I was so busy. I had inspections, and I just make it up. I just went to a listing. You just make it up. You have to make it up. You have to let them know how busy you are, and they're going, man, you're killing it. And I'm going, yeah, I might have done one deal. They didn't know, and I got a lot of business just by being present with my name tag on. I also got asked to help in Dillard's. Many times people ask me to help them find something because they thought I worked there. Go ahead and help them. They need some help. So you might say, well, this would look good on you. And then you go, by the way, I don't work here, and they're embarrassed. You're not. So name tags are just fabulous. So always wear it. You never know. People will stare at it. Oh, you're in real estate. Yes. And then you go into your canned speech that Craig's going to give all of you. Yeah. So any questions on that, or any input or something that you do that we haven't come up with? Nobody?
Well, I'm active. I'm very active in my church.
That's good, Phoebe.
I can't really farm it. They don't really allow that kind of stuff, but I try to do as much as I can. And I sit in the same pew every Sunday, so they know where I'm sitting. So,
well, I know they know who you are.
They do know who I am.
Swim teams in neighborhoods, they always are they look for sponsors. I used to do that as well. If you've got kids or grandkids that are active in any kind of community sports, ask for, sponsors. You can bring water bottles and get a little water labels for the water bottles and put those on. So those are always really good too. I had a banner made for the swim team. And of course, my smiling face was up there. But anything that you think you can do to get your name out is really effective, besides just print advertising, because I think me and Diana and I don't know too many other people that are the last people in the universe that take the Houston Chronicle. You know, oh, you do? Good, Martha. Where, you know, just, no, everybody's going, you mean you get the paper? Like the paper? And I went, yeah. You know, I held on to books forever before I do the Kindle, but I got the cover of the Kindle so I could open it like a book because I just couldn't stand to hold. I had to turn the page. Now Craig's cracking up, but it's true. I like books. I like paper. I'm doing pretty good, but I have tablets. I have all the other stuff, but I prefer it. Anyhow, but we'll be the last ones. You know, they'll all be gone soon. You know, I think print marketing is definitely going by the wayside. So, Craig, do you want to recap what we have learned and where they can find all of our recordings?
And I'm going to share the screen, which I'm already doing. But going back to week 1 with the awareness funnel, this is what we've been trying to talk about for the last 5 weeks, is getting people from just knowing you're a real estate agent to all the way being your raving fans, your real estate advocates. And it's not a one-stop shop. You can't just say, well, I'm not going to do video and I'm not going to do the technology and I'm not going to do social media. You have to layer everything and to get a really good sphere of influence marketing campaign and a strategy and a plan going forward. So it starts with knowing where they are in the awareness funnel. Are they just aware that I'm a real estate agent? Would they even consider me if they had a real estate need? If they have already purchased with me, would they repurchase with me? Would they go back, or have you kind of let them go? So you got to know where they are in the funnel. And then you've got to do your major touches on social media. That's for, you know, to get more people into the funnel so that they're just aware, and then we can work them down the funnel. The effective video, you'll use that to show that you are the news. You want to be the ones that they come to get their information about the market, not just being reactive, but being proactive, telling them what's going on, and using your technology on your impact and all your HAR tools to even show how much information that you have. And then you never, all the technology in the world is never going to replace the human interact and the person-to-person contact. I think we've all learned that through all these Zoom meetings that we've had. They're great. It's really nice to not have to drive down to corporate for all of our trainings, all of our leadership meetings, all the fast tracks, but there's nothing that can replace your human-to-human interaction with them. So, you know, don't forget about that when you're doing all of your technology and your social media and your videos. Don't just forget about actually meeting down and sitting down with a cup of coffee with some of your past clients. I think that's going to be the most important thing. And this is really all we had planned. We had a 5-week session. You know, we've came a long way. We've laughed, we've cried. Hopefully we've got a few listing leads, and we would love to keep this going. Judy and I have a great time. We spend our entire weeks planning on what we're going to talk about. We definitely don't do it all on Tuesday night. Definitely not. So I don't know why you're even thinking that. But if there's any topics that you want to cover, put them in chat or email us, and we're happy to keep this going, because this is the name of the game. Is we want to get more Gary Green signs and more yards so that we can have more open houses, get more phone calls, and overall get more listings and get more transactions going, because that's everyone's goal, I think.
So Craig, where can everybody go get this information? It's in Back Agent, right? All of our recordings.
All of our recordings, we will put them, we'll send you an email with them, and then we'll figure out a way to get them to you so that you can come and revisit them and not just have that email flagged. But we'll let you know when we send out this recording. We'll send out all of them as well.
Yeah, because right now I think they're just in Back Agent under our office.
Yeah,
we're trying to figure a way to get them into Impact, and I think Marlene was working on that with Lindsay or Brett. I think they're waiting for SharePoint or something to get up and going in Impact. But and there's some other managers that we're doing trainings as well, and I think that would be great when they're all in one spot, so you can look at everybody. And remember, if you get a couple of nuggets per session, that's huge. You know, anything that can further your business and make you grow as a realtor and get more money to your bottom line. But we've had a good time. We do have a lot of fun in our office, but it's all about business. We do want to make sure that we are, you know, crushing it. I want to give a congrats out to one of our new agents, Brad. He just did his 3rd lease. And is this your 15th day? Or is it?
It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow.
3 weeks.
In the office.
Yeah. So he was I hired him by Zoom, but I wasn't sure. I thought I had known him for a long time. But he says, "Nice to meet you." I went, "What are you talking about? We've known each other for a month." But I hired him by Zoom, totally forgot, Done. Phoebe, do you have a question?
Yeah, are you going to send us those little letters? Or have you started?
Yes, Phoebe, we're gonna send you the freaking letters.
They'll be attached.
They're all attached. I already sent them to you. Yes, by God, heaven help you if you had to compose one yourself.
Thank you for doing that for us.
Oh, well, you're so welcome. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Anybody else have anything to share? No? Remember, make sure you have those squeeze pages done, because there could be a drawing on Tuesday. There could be money, Scott. We love seeing you guys, and always reach out if you have any questions ever. Just feel free to email us, text us, any of it. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.